of the absolute. We will work together always. We will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology while pretending in subtle ways so they will never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, sedatives in the food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths. They will destroy their minds and reproductive systems. From all this, their children will be born dead. We will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that the poisons are good with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used on film and grow accustomed to them, and will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of the children and convince them it's for their help. We will start early on, when their minds are young. We will target their children with what children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill their mind and steal their future. When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them sicker and cause other diseases, for which we will create yet more medicine. This video was all for entertainment purposes only. This was written around 100 years ago. Let's read this rock.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash. Love honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto us like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in Hebrew, which means peace. Let me a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. This is no longer a conspiracy theory, right? This is obvious, an obvious ploy of showing what we've been saying for a long period of time. And people who falls in the category of saying these things are conspiracy theories, and the evidence is too much evidence that's mounted up for something like that to be just a coincidence of just talk. People just don't talk these things. They don't sit there and make up stuff and it spreads like that. Nah, there's some truth behind it. There's power behind it. All right. And it's clear as day that the system that was implanted in this world was in design to destroy the people, to destroy the masses of the people. This is why when the Lord comes, he's coming for the rulers of this world. All right. He's coming for those that was pushing all this agenda. And although he gave this man rulership, but there's certain things that he wasn't supposed to be doing. And he's doing it. Oh, since I said that, Revelation, since I'm in the air, 6:4, it says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon. What was that? What was that power? That was his blessing. All right. The power that was given to him was his blessing. Couple scriptures. Job 9:24. And it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So there you go. Power is given to him. He was blessed. which goes back to Genesis 27:38. Well, actually, let me go to the point. 41. And Esau hated, no, sorry, I gotta go up. To the point, Genesis 27:40. And by thy sword shall I live. So Esau's blessing is a sword. Matter of fact, I have to go up. 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And always bring it out to the point that all nations that had rulership on the planet Earth, but no nation had rulership on the skies and space. Only Esau has done that, which was what? Prophecy. Okay, which is prophecy. So the dew of heaven is just that. You control the airspace. You control the space itself, the outer space. It says, by that sword shall I live. So the sword is this man's blessing. And part of the sword is just not talking about a gun, actual sword, missiles, which the ultimate missile is, the ultimate sword is the missiles, but other sorts of form of destruction, poison, all right, or the source of witchcraft that they use to destroy the minds of the people. That's a weapon. Esau is the hunter. I got to quote the brother I was watching. I was watching one of the brother's videos, and he brought up, which is, the scene in Menace to Society when the guy, The Rock, had his son in Cain. He was schooling him. He said, the hunt is on and you're the prey. Well, the hunt has always been on and we always been the prey. So they had to set up the gaming ground, all right, in order to make hunting legal. So they had to sit there, find excuse to hunt down blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. So it wasn't a thing of conspiracy, it's a thing of reality. It says back to Revelation 6:4, and there went out another horse that was red. Red represent Esau, Edom. All right. And power was given to him, which we just broke down, that sat thereon, to take peace from the earth. So if you take peace from the earth, what do we have left? We have war. And that they should kill one another, and was given unto him a great sword. That great sword is obviously this ICBM nuclear missiles. Okay? That was his great blessing. The same blessing that he received is the same blessing that's going to take him out. Psalm 64 and 1, I start at 1. It says, to the chief musician, the Psalm of David. Hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. So what the man just read, that was a secret counsel of the wicked. They're so bold with their stuff that they didn't care who knew down the line, because it was all part of the plan. See, they'll kill people for speaking of UFOs, talking about conspiracy. The term conspiracy, to conspire, to breathe within. All right, that was a term that the CIA made it See, like people that was talking about what was JFK's death, that was considered conspiracy theory. You're a conspiracy nut. So they took that term and categorized people so people could deem them crazy, like the man just read. Like when people question stuff and everybody to the normies, like this guy is crazy or this gal is crazy. What's wrong with this person? These things that they say doesn't exist. That was part of the plan. But in reality, it was the real thing. What is the saying? The greatest trick that the devil uh, did was prove that he didn't exist. This is it. He said, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. I think I looked up the word insurrection before. Let me see something. A thorn and company, which a tumult crowd company insurrection. I wanted to look it up, which is Hebrew words ragash. Let me see something. What does insurrection means regular? The regular. Slovakia. I'm not good of a speller. Yes. Insurrection definition. A violent uprising against an authority or government. Correct. And look up the etymon. So somebody say, if they rule the world, why would they throw away the government? Well, that's why they have to do everything in secret. Duh. Because the world was functioning in a Christian base way. That's why you have the Freemasons. The Freemasons was trying to topple the current status quo. And obviously they all infiltrated all organizations to push these organizations to a certain way. It says the word insurrection comes from the Latin insurrego, mean to rise up, to rise against. And what are they rising up and rising against? Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right, this is why the Lord said this. We're not making these things up. Obviously, some people could clearly see that you was taught one way. Now all of a sudden, everything doesn't matter. It says St. John 14:30. Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh and have nothing in me. Who is the prince of this world? The rulers of this world. St. John 2 and was 18. Verse 2:18. Little children, it is the last time, and as you have heard that the Antichrist shall come, even now are there many Antichrists, whereby we know it is the last time. So the insurrection, the powers of be is the Lord. This is all about overthrowing what the Lord established. So when you have men with men, women with women, bestiality, all this different form, adultery that's being pushed, that's all going against the laws of the Creator of all things, which is Yahweh. All right. So this man has been trying to overthrow the powers to be. He has molded the minds of the world to his form of new world order. right? And that new world order is to over, it's to, it's to bring in the confusion. Isaiah 29:16. Surely you're turning of things upside down. Well, actually, I gotta go up. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel. And why they gotta hide it? Because they couldn't flat out do it publicly. All right, that go against everything that they're about. They trying to, they trying to terraform the world to their liking. So what they do in the dark, they want to be out in the open and make it normal. It says to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and say, who seeth us, who knoweth us? Surely you're turning things upside. Surely your turning of things upside down should be esteemed as a potter's clay. So that's why everything's out of whack, because they are combating, they contesting, they fighting against what the Lord established, and we all could clearly see with our own eyes. All right, this 100. We said that letter was like 100 years old, and you could clearly see the majority of everybody's indoctrinated, can't think for themselves. Marriages is not working out. Family, the nuclear family is completely destroyed. I should have looked up. I'm not gonna do it though. But the book Satan's Angels, which I have, and this it tells you. I believe it. What is it? A Ruski. I think they was going by the philosophy of Plato and pretty much turning things upside down. So a little bullet points of what they wanted to do, and one of the main things of that what they wanted to do was to destroy the nuclear family. This is all part of the insurrection. Verse 3, Psalm 64:3, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. These are the lies that has been established. All right. All the lies that you can imagine, it was a work of art. And they have the system to back up the lies. And this devil right now, he's trying his best to continue these lies. But he's left with no other choice. This is why you have what they got the Gideon system, which is gonna go in social media and write everybody down that's talking bad about Israel. And you got TikTok, they're trying to control that, YouTube. So they're trying to control free speech because the lies that they themselves establish, people catching up. So they have no other choice but to bring in the sword. It says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows and shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in the secret at the perfect. Hey, I was watching the brother GMS dedication. It was talking about this last weekend that passed, the violent uprise, Chicago, New York, but mainly Chicago, and it was breaking it down like how where all these guns came from. And it was somebody was breaking it down like they'll say mercenaries be going out there doing the killing, and the media, the machine would sit there and say, "Oh, see, black on black crime." So we gotta do something about it. What they want to do? They want to bring in the National Guard. So this, they blame blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans for what? To doing most of the killings and the crimes in the United States, which I gotta put this video I seen earlier if I can find it. I'll be watching a lot of stuff, But they blame you for all the violent crimes that's taking place in the United States, where they say out of their own mouth, you're the minorities. That term minority means you're less than. So if you're less than, how can you be the ones? And that means there's other people, there's more people than you. So how can you be the most violent people of of them all? I'm trying to look for the video. It was a Edomite kid that was breaking it down, and with the stacks and everything. Maybe it was on TikTok. I don't know. Not TikTok. I don't got that TikTok. I got the Instagram. I see the Edomite kid. Where he at? If it's not there, I ain't worried about it. But he was breaking it down. He's like, black African Americans are 13%. So if they 13%, how and white people are like what? They commit most of the crimes, like half of the crimes, more than the crimes, 70. They was giving stacks and everything. They said the math ain't mathing. That's shooting bitter words. Oh, we're the most violent. Okay. History shows that the most violent people on the planet Earth are Caucasians. Hands down. All right. Hands down. History shows that. Because they want to push an agenda. The agenda is to make everybody else look like the most ferocious, vicious. Who do the most of the mass shootings? Esau. All right. Esau. For some reason I can't find the video. Go figures. But yeah, Esau, Edomites. They do most of the mass shooting. The shooting of the Transformer went out there and shoot a whole bunch of kids who do these diabolical crimes, and that's diabolical. That's some evil shit. Who go out there and kill the? You know what I'm saying? But who gets the blame? You blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Scripture says that the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces him. We've been living in a society where crime. No, we live in a society where criminality is highly looked upon. In order to be a man, you have to commit mass crime. Then you're a man, you took it, and it's right in your face. It's what the scripture says about the accuser of thy brethren. And that's what they do. It says, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. And then that letter is an evil matter. All right. The Judge of Guystone, that was an evil matter. All these things a form of evil. So it says they commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? And the snares is a trap. So they created a pit, a system that's designed to keep certain people oppressed and commit crime and violence, so that way they look good. Now they got a stranglehold. Every time there's a freaking football game, college town, they do fucking far worse than Juve and all these other shit. Yet they get a slap in the wrist all the time. Not January 6th, a slap in the wrist, right? All of these things, and yet they turn around and say, "Oh, look how violent these people are." They search out iniquities, which is sin multiplied. This is why this is the most sexual deviant generation. Everything is opened because it's all part of the masterful plan of these rich tycoons. It wasn't just Rockefeller. The Rockefeller family was more of them, the Carnegies and so forth, the medical industry, the education industry. They want workers. They don't want thinkers. All these different avenues of saying, and they encourage certain behaviors. It says they accomplish a diligent search, which is that wickedness. They know what people like. They know if you don't teach the youth properly, all right, when there's no discipline in order, what's going to end up happening. They study human behavior, all right. That's why they keep pushing sexual deviance, things of pleasure, drugs, alcohol, all these things they push. It says both the inward thoughts of every one of them and their heart is deep. So it go beyond than just the normal things that we know. All right. It goes beyond. What we know is just the front. This is why they poison the food, they poison the air, they poison the water. I was just watching some video. They had a woman that was saying that the eggs, the brown eggs, was supposed to be the best eggs. How there's paper in it. Who thinks these shits? All right, Franken foods, GMOs. That's some deep thoughts. The Lord created life and things that have seeds so it could grow itself. You get seedless watermelons, seedless. I was just thinking about a lemon. Lemon don't even have seed in there. No, sorry, not lemon. Lime. Lime don't even have seeds. Now some lemon have seeds, but everything tangerine, orange, and then when people become cancerous and sick, it's because of your family or diabetes. You know, all these things. These some deep evil thoughts, man. It's not overnight. This is some fucking masterful diabolical planning. That they just sit there and just drink baby blood and like how we gonna fuck these people's lives even more worse. Well, verse 7 says, but Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. And that arrow is talking about those ICBM nuclear missiles. The same missiles that they use to flex on the world, same missiles that they're gonna taken and destroy them. So they shall make their own tongue fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away. And their tongues is falling upon us. And that's why that information, the Rockefeller letter, the letter between was it Mussini and I keep forgetting things, Slakia. But the whole 3-step, it was in Mussini and Albert Pike. And then the letter, I'm not gonna look it up. It'll come to me. If it doesn't, it is what it is. But the World War III, that all the world wars, they plotted it out and so forth. But that was all the Lord. Because at this man's end is going to be the greatest, glorious end of them all. Everything that they did in the dark is coming out to the light. Luke 12:2. And it's going to be in Front Street. Everybody's going to see it. Like how not to be. It says, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of Yahweh. Yeah, because this thing, like it says in Nahum, it's like the Lord's throwing filth on it. All right? It's a filth. Everybody's going to be gazing at it. Tell you Revelation that the sea merchants are going to be weeping, hollering. The world is going to be a worldwide event. It's going to be a mass earthquake. throughout the whole four corners of the earth. The earth is going to be in a nuclear winter because of the destruction that's going to set foot. So everybody's going to know America been wiped out. All right, but the lease is going to stay intact until what? Till the elect return and grab them up, grab up the criminals for what they did on the earth. For they shall wisely consider of his doings. The righteous shall be glad in Yahweh and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. Because the Lord is going to be a man of his word, being he's going to take down this devil. They're found guilty in all courts. End up in two more. Daniel 7:26, and then it says, "But the judgment shall sit," meaning the judgment set is there. It's not going anywhere. "And shall take away his dominion, his rulership, to consume and destroy it unto the end." Isaiah 24 and 21. "It shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth." Yeah, they don't wear no crowns, and they're the host of the high ones. All right, the little councils and the Council of 13, 300, and all this other shit. These are the rulers of this world. They're operating on the way things they want. The Lord says he's going to punish them for all the shit that they did. That's not a light thing. That whole Rockefeller letter is taking place. They have completely flipped this world inside out, upside down. And the Lord's about to put it right back up. And those that was in the rulership for centuries, they're going to be the first crop of slaves, like it's going to say. It says, "And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit." Because they are the prisoners. They are the criminals. They committed insurrection, right, against the Lord, against what the Lord's standards. All right. The Lord gave a land Sabbath. This man completely destroyed the land. So he's guilty. He wanted talking about blacks commit most of the crimes. Well, you're a walking, talking criminal. You don't have no chains on you, but chains that's gonna be a new fashion design. All right, y'all going back to your original state. It says, "Now gathered in the pit." Hey, you throw us in the system, well, guess what? We're gonna throw you in the pit, a system as well. We're gonna oppress the shit out of you. It says it should be shut up in prison. After many days shall they be visited, and the moon and the sun shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed. So is the actual moon, the heavens, and the sun, they're gonna be ashamed? Why do they need to be ashamed for? They're in order. Nah, it's the wisdom and knowledge of Esau, what he going by. That's what's gonna be the shameful thing. He's been listening to the wrong. He's been listening to the right ones, and lead him down the path of his own demise. All right. It says, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion, because the jealousy is quite simple. The gain of immortality and rulership of the kingdom to come, which is a sure shot, basically saying that the Lord is with you, because the Lord himself said he's going to be with his people in that day. So if the Lord's going to be with his people in the kingdom of heaven, whoever the Lord's people, they're blessed forever. But when they see who the Lord's truly with. That's why it says Mount Zion. Zion means Zion one, which is what? A monument. So the Lord's truly for his true people. All right. And in Jerusalem and before the ancient of gloriousness. Because if the Lord was in the land of Israel today, the world would be in peace. Everybody would have been serving those small hatters. The world's not serving those small hatters because they're not the rulers. They're not the special people. They're not the Lord's people. That's why it says what it says. So they're gonna all that they're talking about, they're gonna be completely ashamed of that. So that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.